It is now time for the next game.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're looking over the allegedly troubled and traumatic production that took place during Squid Game: The Challenge.
Squid Game. What an odd name.
Based on societal greed. Perhaps the trouble with Squid Game: The Challenge can be traced back to its morally challenged inspiration. Based on the mega-hit Korean survival drama that is Netflix's Squid Game, this reality competition spin-off centers around one thing: greed.
This is a $4.56 million game.
The money is so...
Like the scripted series, we find numerous individuals fighting for money at all costs.
남은 인생을 빚쟁이들에게 쫓기며 쓰레기처럼 사시겠습니까? 아니면 저희가 드리는 마지막 기회를 잡으시겠습니까?
Okay, so unlike the fictional premise, the stakes aren't life or death. But there are plenty of cold and calculated moves that need to be made in order to advance in the game. Essentially, the premise plays off our most desperate and nasty qualities.
You can't trust anybody in here.
You must now pick 2 players to eliminate.
A participant was even quoted in Rolling Stone magazine as saying the whole experience was, quote, the cruelest, meanest thing they've ever been a part of. The show boasts a $4.56 million cash prize, the largest lump sum cash prize in TV history. So, as Netflix proudly states in their advertising of the show, quote, the stakes are high, but in this game, the worst fate is going home empty-handed.
This game has to be played with strategy.
I'm gonna be your best friend, but I will absolutely double-cross you.
It can be said that the premise alone set the contestants up for a nasty and cutthroat experience before the cameras even started rolling.
Preparations for the first game are complete. You can begin now.
Inhumane Environment. Early on in the production, many reports made it apparent that things were not running smoothly during Squid Game: The Challenge. It turns out that the trauma contestants experienced wasn't just related to the rigors of the game itself, but rather the alleged inhumane filming conditions.
대답해! 왜 그런 짓을 했어?
Speaking anonymously with Variety, various contestants recounted a traumatizing experience while filming the famed red light, green light game. They say they were woken up at 3:30 a.m. to take a 2-hour trip to the filming location, a former Royal Air Force hangar. The temperature in this vast environment was said to be sub-freezing. Thankfully, participants were given coats to keep warm, along with thermal underwear and 2 pairs of socks. But when it was time to film, everyone was instructed to remove their coats and leave their thin Squid Game jackets unzipped so audiences could see when their color packs exploded.
Life that keeps me alive.
Freezing from head to toe. One participant likened the experience to being in a human horse race, quote, where the horses were left out in the cold.
Let the game begin.
Contestants provided forms from their doctors but were told that the shooting for this particular game would last around 2 hours. They were also told it would require holding poses for up to 2 minutes.
무궁화꽃? 그 옛날에 어릴 때 하던 거 말이에요?
However, filming red light, green light stretched past the 7-hour mark, and poses had to be held for 10 to 15 minutes, with one going as long as 26 minutes. Participants did not sign up for an environmental competition series like Survivor and were unprepared for the frigid conditions. Because the merciless temperature had nothing to do with the game, it left many contestants calling foul. Oh, and did we mention water and bathroom breaks were not permitted during the entire filming of this game?
여기서 그만두는 거 아니잖아! 그래! 우리나라도 계속하게 해줘요! 그래, 계속 안 해줘요!
Injuries. As you might imagine, the cruel conditions participants were placed in led to several medical incidents. Reports from The Sun and Rolling Stone note that at least 10 individuals were injured during this first game.
방금 무슨 소리예요?
As red light, green light pressed on, players started to collapse. This from being required to stand still in the bitter cold. One participant recounted seeing a girl swaying in her pose and then buckling. She said she could actually hear her head hit the ground. She also recounted that while people were falling, a voice came over the speakers telling everyone to hold their positions because, quote, the game is not paused. This reportedly caused more people to drop. There were also allegations that medics took a long time to reach players who had fallen because producers did not want camera shots to get ruined. Rolling Stone reported that as a solution, quote, masked people in pink jumpsuits were sent out on the floor with black coffins and positioned themselves to block out the medics. This supposedly took place while the rest of the contestants had to remain frozen in their poses.
아저씨든 나든 둘 중 한 명이 살아서 여기 나가면 서로 남은 가족 챙겨주기로.
However, Netflix has denied that the game resulted in any serious danger or injury. They stated, quote, we care deeply about the health and safety of our cast and crew and invested in all the appropriate safety procedures. Several contestants disagree, with one saying, quote, it was the incompetencies of scale. They bit off more than they could chew.
에이, 씨발, 재수없게, 뭘 처먹는 걸 쳐다보고 지랄이야.
False pretenses. The show has also come under fire for allegations that it was, quote, skewed toward high-profile participants.
We're in Squid Game. Let's get real. Let's sink these ships.
Contestants say that TikTok and Instagram influencers were the only ones fully mic'd up, while the vast majority of contestants were given dummy microphones. Not only that, but they also say that those types of individuals often had rules, quote, bent in their favor.
We are a good team.
You're the brightest light in here.
Netflix denies special treatment was given to anyone, but at least one participant says she simply felt like nothing more than an extra in a TV show.
이 게임 안에선 모두가 평등해. 참가자들 모두가 같은 조건에서 공평하게 경쟁하지.
Of course, the massive, not to mention historic cash prize made many players giddy. Producers allegedly favored contestants who had a, quote, whatever-it-takes attitude to get the money. They're accused of wanting to focus on those who did not care about their health and safety. One angry player even said that instead of Squid Game, the show should be called Rigged Game.
You have been eliminated.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Lack of accountability. Many contestants say they are most frustrated with Netflix's lack of accountability. The streamer's soft response on the reported injuries did not sit well, with one ex-player saying that everyone was injured, quote, just by going through the experience.
고민을 좀 해봤지. 뭘 하면은 좀 재미가 있을까?
재미로 그런 짓을 시켰다고?
They also called out the show's other co-producers, Studio Lambert and The Garden, for their lack of preparation and flexibility. One contestant says that Studio Lambert was actually exceptionally caring in the pre-production phase, with plenty of communication and extensive background checks. But she says when the game started, that all changed, and she no longer felt cared for. As for the celebrated fictional Squid Game series, a second season is still very much in the works at Netflix, despite the dark production of its reality show spin-off.
우승 축하합니다. 대단한 경기였습니다.
What are your thoughts on Squid Game: The Challenge's troubling allegations? Let us know in the comments below. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.